My name is Warner Page. I'm president of the board of the Telluride Chamber Music Festival, and I'd like to introduce to you the two co-founders and two co-artistic directors for the festival, Robin Sutherland, our pianist, and Roy Milan, our violinist. And I thought it'd be interesting for all of you to have a little history. This is our 46th year in Telluride, so I thought maybe you might want to give a little history.
We're also co-historians.
Co-historians, good, okay. That's
Yes.
Well, and it begins with the time when Robin and I joined the San Francisco Symphony. I had not met him, but he played a movement from the Emperor Concerto at a kids' concert,
Yeah.
and I thought, this guy's phenomenal. I just arrived, didn't know him, but I knew that he was from Colorado, and someone had just given me $200 to come to Telluride, stay in their condo, and put on a few concerts. So I ran out to find Robin. The concert was over, and he was getting in the back of a truck with his dogs, and he was going out to the place we lived. I hadn't really talked to him much, and I said, "Hey, ever heard of a town called Telluride?" He said, "Yes, the greatest town in Colorado." And I said, "You want to play some chain music?" "Sure," he said, and drove off with his dogs. Mana.
My dog Mana
Yeah.
in the back of the truck. I was a hippie in those days,
Oh, yes.
as opposed to now.
There were many hippies at that time.
Yes, there were.
So you came.
We came, and what we found, I'll be frank, was a little bit disillusioning. Telluride in the very early 70s was in some ways a dying town. Idorado had, shut down. There were some people hanging on. 2/3 of Colorado Avenue was boarded up in the business district. I remember that. And but it was right at that wonderful time when this character named Joe Zoline from Beverly Hills came with ideas about gold being white instead of yellow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the Telluride Lodge had just been built where Clark's Market is. That was really the only place, your only option if you were from out of town to stay. But Joe Zoline had big ideas, and we were there just right on the ground floor of all of that.
So there were some people here who were willing to support chamber music at its infancy, and
Yes, that was the beginning of the local, what they called early music, I think. Barbara Martin, she was
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yes.
had an early music group. She was the one who contacted me, actually, originally.
former postmistress.
Postmistress of
Yes,
Telluride.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
just talked to her, yes, okay.
So we walked up and down Main Street carrying sandwich boards to advertise the first concert. And there was a bar on the corner, it long since gone. And it was a hot day, and we thought that we'd put down the billboards and go and sit at the bar and have a beer. And we did. And we saw people at the end of the counter talking about what we're going to do this weekend. And we went over and said, "Come to the Chain Music Festival." And we sold them 2 tickets. That was the first.
First set.
Right
First
there.
sale.
The
Right.
first, yeah, right there.
I think
Well-
they even came.
Here we go, 46 years later. Oh my goodness.
A lot has happened.
A lot has happened
And,
to you and to Telluride.
Yeah, Telluride has transformed entirely.
Yes. Well, this year's concert, all the concerts, by the way, are at the Palm Theater, starting Thursday night at 7:30, Saturday night at 7:30, and Sunday is a matinee at 2:30. And tickets are available online at Telluride chambermusic.org. Tickets are $30 in advance, $35 at the door, and there are plenty of course, seats available. It'll be an extraordinary concert. If you take just a second and talk a little bit about some of the things that you'll be playing and of note.
Yes, well, I think the interesting thing is that we're playing mostly requests this summer. I think you'd had for years a list of things that people might sign up to hear, including one of your own.
Yes, my
Which we're
Archduke
playing.
Trio, yes.
So
My
these are a
favorite.
lot of requests.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think the first one, the Souk, was one you played a number of years ago that was everybody loved, and I'm
Yes.
glad you decided to play that one again. That's quite on the
Yes.
first program.
Joseph Sook, yes, we loved that piece, and we've got to love it even more as we've played it.
He was the son-in-law of Antonin Dvorak.
Oh, he was. I didn't know that.
And this piece, this quartet, Opus 1, first thing he ever published was, I think, a wedding offering to the old man. Can I have, here's what I can do.
Here's a piece.
How's about your daughter?
Yeah, good.
And it worked.
You also mentioned the Brahms, which is something that's
Yes.
never been played here.
Now, that's thanks to Robin that we're playing it.
I
5.
did it in the Breckenridge Festival, across the pass, and I began to think, now wait a minute, why haven't we done this in Telluride? And I couldn't come up with an answer,
Yes.
or at least any good one. So we're doing it. It's one of the masterpieces of the chamber literature.
Great.
We had originally intended to do the B major trio. That was a request, but I hope that whoever requested it will enjoy this one just as much.
They'll probably enjoy it, yes. It may have been Josie, I'm not sure.
It's possible.
Anything else on the mother and child is something, at least a composer I had not heard of.
William Grant Still was one of the great black composers of the early part of the century who became enormously famous. And this piece, Mother and Child, is a beautiful thing that he wrote for string orchestra, and we're doing it for string quartet.
Great. Well, I hope all of you will, if you haven't been to the Chamber Music Festival, give it a try. It's a beautiful festival. The music will be fantastic, and we have incredible players. So we hope to see you there.